Right, that should be recording now. Hello and welcome to this very impromptu, completely unscripted video. Just to explain a little bit of what's happening with this new, well, we don't know exactly what it is, but a demo that Toby Fox has released. We're not going to talk about the actual game itself or anything. If you want, there's like an embargo of sorts on that, which I will fully respect. But there is a little bit of a problem with the sort of installer-uninstaller, particularly the uninstaller, which, much to my chagrin, I found by accident, but we've gained some traction. That's well known now. But there's confusion about exactly what the risks are. So I'm just going to throw a little quick video together just to show you exactly what's going on if you're confused or just not feeling very confident. So this is our installer here. You can see we've made a folder here. So the C drive games, indie games, fair enough. We can just run the installer, and yeah, it's very funny. This took on a new tone after things happened, but we don't want to start many shortcuts. So we don't want to install the program files because, as a rule, it's less than ideal to install games there because Windows puts extra sort of checks on it. So we will change that to indie games / survey program. That's fine. We can install that now. That'll go in fine. We get a new folder. Just a list of all the stuff that goes in there. It's all fine. We're not going to run it. And there's our folder. So there's all the files related to this. And that in itself is all fine. And as you can see, there's actually quite a bit to it. So I'm just going to quickly do here is I'm just going to make a copy of this folder. So I can go back to reference it later without reinstalling. So if we want to uninstall, we've got an installer here because there's quite a few loose files, and since it's gone through an install process, that means there's probably, you would think, going to be some registry entries, and uninstalling would generally clean those up. So as a matter of course, we'll just use the uninstall from there. Yeah, fine. Boom, boom, boom. Details. Yep, all good. Remove folder, and you can see it's just deleted the whole folder, so we're being booted back out to indie games up here. That in itself, yeah, that seems fine. Now what can happen though is we've made this folder called Toby Fox Games. Now these are all just copies. We've got the Undertale exe. We have the installer for survey program Windows English, random image file, and just a folder that's sitting here. These are just going to function as dummy files for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the installer again. Yep. No start menu shortcuts. Next. And this time we're going to change it to go straight into this root directory there. So it's just indie games, Toby Fox Games. We do not have that survey programs bit at the back, just to make that absolutely clear. Right, and that's now installed. And we're not starting it. Right, so as you can see, we've now got a bit of a mess because we've got all these new loose files mixed in with these other files. That's, not great. So if we click the uninstall now, this is where things will get a little bit funky. Sorry, my Twitter's been going a bit mad with revealing this. So we uninstall now from here. And there's the problem. We can click on show details. Yes, it's deleted all these lovely files, which are, well, you can see right there, it's deleted the picture. As we scroll through, especially when we get to the bottom here, here's our problems. You can see remove folder, Toby Fox Undertale, so it's just deleted that folder. It's deleted the Undertale 1.1 exe, and it's obviously deleted itself and all that stuff. So this is the problem. The uninstaller works by basically just deleting everything inside the folder it finds itself in, and that includes the folder itself. So it's, not to mix words and stuff. This is not necessarily strictly Toby's fault because he says he's used the default Game Maker 2 uninstaller, but it's a very sloppy uninstaller, and this is basically more or less the same problem that happened with Myth 2, if you know your history going back a few years, where Bungie basically made an install that worked the same way. So depending where you install, you could effectively, if you installed it straight to the C drive, in theory, you could delete every folder on the C drive, System32, Windows, everything just gone. There's no fail-safes, no safety checks, no sort of checklist where it only deletes the relevant files. Normally with an uninstaller, if we uninstalled from a folder like we just did, it would delete the files applicable to the uninstaller from a checklist, and anything else, anything extra, it would just leave behind. So with a lot of games, that would be things like custom maps or manual, like screenshots, video clips, that would be left in the folder. But you could argue it's trash, but it's safe. But as we can see here, this has just wiped the folder clean. So that Undertale folder, Undertale, that's gone. And there is no getting that back. It's not in the recycle bin, it's just gone. And you might notice we also couldn't cancel that uninstall once it started. So going back to here, the reason this basically happened was I did install it to a sort of indie games folder, as I suspected we would have a game exe and a readme file or a license file. I thought that would be it, like Undertale itself. If you buy that, it's like just the exe, which does everything. But as you can see, this also installs a couple of folders, a couple of miscellaneous extra files. So they were somewhere I didn't want them to be, and I thought, well, I could manually move them, but that might leave some, you know, trash. I might miss a file, so I'll just uninstall it, make a new folder, install it there. We're all done. And it deleted my entire fan games folder, which included a bunch of beta builds from games a friend made, a lot of Sonic fan games. Sonic 2 HD was in there, some sort of like remastered versions of Lemmings. It got rid of a lot of stuff, and there was nothing I'd do about it. So that's the warning for you. Now, the caveat is, as long as these files are in their own folder like this, you see a survey program, this is okay. If you've installed in the default program files survey program, not / survey program folder, you're safe. But the uninstaller does not check. It won't affect parent folders. So as you can see, if we did the uninstall here, it's going to be interesting. I'm live testing. I shouldn't do this. There you can see uninstalling from this folder. So it doesn't go from a registry. It's just a rough automatic delete the folder, basically. Yeah, it's just deleted that. So now we're booted back here into an empty indie games. Yeah, so essentially, if you took that uninstall exe and just put it on any folder on your computer and ran it, it in theory would just empty out the folder and delete it without any checks, without making sure that's... You know what, let's actually do a test of that, shall we? Since we're here. Just see how far this goes. Not in program files. It'll make this directory now Toby Fox Games. You see, it's just in there now. Won't start it now. That's given me the exe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new folder here. Nice misspelling. Test. Right, so we've got into Toby Fox Games. If we copy this on installer, just drop it on its own in another folder. So you know what, I should have a text file or something in here. Yeah, I'll just dump in a copy of my offsets. If I uninstall this, in theory it's just going to clean this folder and delete it. None of the game files are actually in this folder apart from the uninstall. So let's see what it actually does. Yep. It's literally just... what this uninstaller does, more or less... wait a minute. What the hell did it actually just do there? Because that's still... No, that's the other one, isn't it? Oh yeah, I deleted that. Yeah, right, okay, I forgot to name the test folder, because yes. Yeah, so basically what that uninstaller does is it does this. That's how the DeltaRune uninstaller works. So just be careful with it. If it's in its own folder, it should be okay. But if there's any other loose files in there, it doesn't check, it's indiscriminate. It will just delete the folder it is in. That's how it works. Right, so hopefully that'll answer any questions and stuff. And for now, just take care of yourselves and be safer with your computers. safer than me. Bye.